Welcome back to Formula Foliage, sponsored by food. This is a joke nobody will get because we said so. We are now in Italy for race number 6 at Autodromo Enzo Dino Ferrari in Imola, which is, well, one of the properly difficult racetracks, even though they, well, pushed it out a little bit. Yeah. We have a chicane-filled circuit this time around, but we'll try to enjoy it the best we can. The best time, as we see, was set by Sergio Assetto camera in last year, 136.1. Now forget this time, because we're gonna get nowhere near it.
Pretty much. That one's Ilya, by the way. This one here is Matt, with you once again, as per usual, for our commentary of another race, another promising race. We also have with us our usual special guest, and I emphasize special, Spooky Squid.
Hi. No.
So, that's the extent of it.
That's pretty much the extent of it. Yes, as Penis and Oils has graciously sponsored our cast once again. They make sure that you have the proper lubrication needed to, I don't know where I was going with that, I was just trying to make it fucking loop.
Chill. Absolutely
Yeah,
chill.
Pretty much. So, more Formula Tree action for you, and a track that I do enjoy, despite everyone's attempts to absolutely ruin it. It still has that special little something.
Emphasizing little. As we go to the starting grid, and surprise of a century, Sharky is not on pole. The Latvian managed to move Sharky out of the way and claim the pole for himself, with his teammate Maestro Bončić claiming 3rd place alongside Trempel in 4th. Mr. Bob and the Holy Moose taking row 3. Servatis is gonna start 7th, followed by Matt, Biker, and the resident American asshole in 10th.
Emphasis on asshole. As we go back, wow, didn't think that one through. Smart Pipe in 11th place, followed by Georgian and Rotor X2, with Spooky Squid, our resident lid popper, in 14th. Psychedelic behind him in 15th, with Neon Tiger and G-Man, don't ask, Viperion, Echo 5-1, and Nematus Midas, whatever. I don't know.
That resident lid popper sounded unnecessarily dirty.
That's probably on Urban Dictionary. And then 21st place, Marcin 224, and I assume that means he didn't set a lap time.
He did, but he was outside 107%.
Oh.
Oh.
He was like 11 seconds down.
Wow.
Well, he's not that slow, so.
Honey.
Honey, please.
Have you seen anything? Okay, either way, he will be allowed to race this week, despite his poor performance in the qualifying. As cars are pouring on the track for the formation lap and magically appearing on the grid, don't ask. We have no idea how that works. Oh look, there is one chicane we're not using, surprisingly.
Shock. Although, I mean, the way that's situated, that's a hell of a turn into the...
Yeah.
What is that chicane even doing there? Is that like for like running the track in reverse? Like that entry?
Yeah, that looks more fitting in reverse, because it would be like, yeah, it'd be a weird chicane.
90-degree corner almost. Well, is.
Yeah.
Like, why? I mean, unless that was, you know, from the initial pacification post-Senna, which had nothing to do with the track and everything to do with Newey's suspension design. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
but
more particularly,
leave it to Formula One to take a good thing, to take a potentially decent fix that doesn't need to be fixed, but they're going to do anyway, and then say fuck both of those and just do the worst thing possible.
And that's how we got a flip-flop for next year.
I prefer to call it the G-string, because I prefer it when it's not on.
I mean, I hate flip-flops too.
Wait, was that an empty space on the grid?
That was me. I joined late. As I do.
Passionately, I assume.
Squid came late, everyone. That note, the cars are lining up on the grid.
As I do.
Oh. Well, I mean, I guess it's a helpful talent.
Tonight on Overshare, we have the likes of 3, 4, and 5 cars are revving up, and we...
Daddy!
Fucking hell. We are away in Imola. Cars are
Oh god.
trying to get away from a grid in 3 frames a second. Cars are gonna stream through turn 1 and 2 towards turn 3, the first chicane of the circuit, which is gonna get really really fast. Sharky sideways.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Jesus.
Oh,
there's
F.
a lot of collision. Half of the field is off the track. Arrows up and down on the timing, and cars are just all over the place. Another car in the wall.
Death.
Wow.
Death
Okay.
everywhere.
And another car in the wall. Jesus Christ. What is going on?
Somebody play Through the Fire and the Flames, because that was a hot mess. Wow. Okay, so who survived? Top 9 really got through without much calamity, it looks like.
Well, I wouldn't say so, because Sharky finds himself all the way down to 6 after he was pinballed around, well, basically everyone.
Died. Yeah, everyone died, basically.
Yeah, Gunsis was probably the only one who survived, just as he managed to get away from the field rather fast, as Moose making a mistake here in turn 10, allowing Mulder to go side by side, having a preferred line through this very tight chicane. And that's an overtake complete, as everyone and their mother completely ignores the white line denoting the end of a track. And
Yeah,
that's gonna be a thing for today. Spoiler alert.
What are track limits?
Whoa!
Oh, incident with Ponchik.
Yeah, Maestro.
Something
And I
happened to
think that
Maestro.
was
Oh,
Neon
Jesus!
Tiger.
Oh. Another overtake on Moose, and Matt tried to barge his way through as well, and forces Moose off the track again. Matt was really determined to keep his position here.
Yeah, a little bit of over exuberance there. Fair play on the first one, but that second block and push off the track was a little bit dicey. So things are settled down a little bit from the initial calamity, with Gunsis in the lead, Trempale behind him, Mr. Bob, and then Sharky up to 4th. So he's advanced by way of Moose's incident. And
Here is
other
Maestro
two.
and Piker fighting for 17th position, 2 big victims of the
Wow.
first lap.
that's not going well for Ponchik. Second race in a
Oh,
row. where he's
whoa!
had a-
Viberian takes out Maestro. Oh, and somebody
Oh,
else does. Jesus Christ, Maestro is having the Sharky treatment in Monza in the very first season. He was
I haven't seen something that painful since I watched an episode of the Alex Jones show.
that fucking hell. Sharky tries to get away, but
Well, don't ever do that, kids.
Gunsis closes the gap instantly, and Sharky gets pinballed once, twice, 3 times at the very start, as we have
He's a
some...
pinball wizard. There has to be at 3 frames per second.
Whole 3 frames. That's a lot, probably. As you see, my on board from the start of a race in the mid-pack, where, well, basically most of the calamity began. You see, on the inside, cars are trying to squeeze tight. Biker gets a little bit of a shove, and teammate gets a little bit of a bomb draft without knowing it. There was 3 wide at one point, and cars filtered through at the start, but those bumps did not end up there. The first bump set up the chain reaction. Biker bumped into someone there.
This is me.
Squid survived initially, but got rear-ended by someone. Sent into the gravel trap. Well, I bet you used it. Here we
Oh,
see
Jesus.
from Biker's
God.
angle, he touched Cervantes and got touched by me, and then one of the Apex Predator cars. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Everything.
Wow, things happened back there. This was Smart Pipe that was touched here. Actually, he went into the gravel all by himself, avoiding the collision, and he rejoined. Oh, Jesus! That's
That was me.
Squid with
Holy crap.
Quit, please!
Squid with a low flyby, and then someone took out Smart Pipe as he was going through. G-Man over here in the back of a pack. That's how Squid got lost. G-Man pushed one of the blue flag cars into him, and Then the other blue flag car collected Smart Pipe on his way back on track. Here we see Echo, who got bumped around a little bit, cars all over the place for him, and she gets tagged out of a corner into the wall. Whoa, whoa, Jesus. And he almost came back and collected another car as he tried to rejoin. This is what happened to Maestro here. Lost it on the Assetto all by himself.
No help from anyone else.
Oh, hi.
Once. Oh, no, he got some help.
Servatis lost it in the exact same place. I assume the same thing. Yeah, a little bit of Assetto on the exit. And hello to Maestro here.
It's funny how, with the amount of track that we have here, people are still finding each other off the track. As Neon Tiger is going to join the threesome. Oh, no, he stopped it in time.
Neon actually lost it before he hit the Assetto. He lost it at the very exit. We see here Maestro tries to pinch a little bit, but I believe Viperian lost control by the time they approached the corner.
I don't think that was Maestro's fault at all. I think Viperian
right here, Viperian lost the car on the right front locked up on the grass, and he was basically a passenger from this point forwards. Maestro finds himself dead last. Wow, that's a development.
Yeah, that's he's not having the best of time in the last couple of races. His Moose gets really wide there, as we see the line that pretty much everyone took in turn 10 off the track.
Meanwhile, Shark is now third again.
Shark quietly made his way back to top 3 because, of course, that's what he does. Everyone completely ignores track limits again. Pretty much turn 10 and turn 12 we're gonna stop saying track limits because every single lap, every single driver did that, and well, off to race control. Gunther's meanwhile sets the fast lap for himself, so does Trempel, and Trempel is actually 1/10 faster than Gunther's. There is a 2.5 second gap. We'll see how that develops, as we have a little bit of a bout here. That's gonna be Servatis looking for a pass on Psychedelics, and Rotorix finding himself in front of him. I assume he avoided majority of the damage and now in 9th place. Servatis looking for the inside on Psychedelics. Gotta have a little bit of late break inside by side. Nice defense by Psychedelics. Stay tuned a little bit wide on the exit that allows Servatis to pull back alongside him. He will have to line deep, and he does. So Psychedelics loses the car on the exit. Careful not to be collected. And no, I believe he might have slowed down, and that created a big hole here. 3 wide. 3 wide into hairpin, and then still 2 wide, 2 deep back there for what would be 12th position. Biker joined the battle here. Oh
no!
Oh God!
F.
Nomadis is officially declared dead. We see a replay. Yeah, Psychedelic started losing it before the turn. Actually, a nice save through the gravel. We see Nemidis right here battling for position, and he got clobbered from behind. All of a sudden, he sent right into the wall. That was a hard impact.
Yeah. That seems to be a theme here, which is funny. A track with more runoff than we saw in Sandvort, but a lot more calamity on the first couple laps than we saw last race. I'm going to be interested in seeing how long it takes Sharky to get back up to the lead. He's not closed on Trempale all that quickly, but he is closing. Mr. Bob behind them, then myself in 5th, with the Holy Moose trailing me, Georgian in P7, with Matt in 8th. Ponchik is up to 18th now, having, just as I looked at him, overtaken Midas.
Oh, and that's an interesting way to overtake.
Yeah. I mean, if it works, so.
Just drift around him. Why won't you?
But you go faster when you're going sideways.
I wonder if there was contact between them, because that was very tight.
No. It was me making an overtake. I do it perfectly.
One Maestro is one too many. We don't need another one. Thank you very much.
Yeah, true.
As Maestro is going to be chasing Martin now for 17th position, and after Martin there is a huge gap of 11 seconds to Neon Tiger in 16, so Master is gonna have a bit of breathing room when he passes Marson.
After he passed the Martian, he should be able to go very fast in the clean
This
air.
should trigger some PTSD for Piker, since the last time he was behind me, I flew across the track and collected him.
It's a poor thing for poor Piker, because then the next race we go to after this is Magello, and that will trigger a whole other kind of PTSD for him.
All PTSD. And meanwhile, Smart Pipe and Psychedelics battling around. Psychedelics tried to take this corner very shallow. That's not gonna work. Not in this world. Squid and G-Man, meanwhile, fighting for 11th into the chicane, which is very tight. Squid taking liberties with that line, but that secures an overtake and actually exposes G-Man a little bit to Piker, who has a bit of extra speed coming into the double left-hander at the end of the circuit here. He is on the inside line, and this is a very nice and clean overtake. And well, if he wouldn't go onto the grass, make it 2 as Squid was slow out of the corner.
Shock.
And all of a sudden, Piker is up to 11th place.
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna show replay, but I just died, pretty much.
And meanwhile, you actually tried to get back at Piker, a little bit of back and forth. No take. Oh, as of yet, and it's a little bit of a bit squiggly out of here.
Yeah,
Squiggly squig.
I do that sometimes, as we see the Holy Moose trying to find a way past you, Matt.
Oh, Servatis looks dead, as he lost like half the positions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Moose is trying to find his way through Mulder in 5th. Oh, that's not where you go.
Oh.
Ooh, another moment. He stays on track behind Mulder. My God, Moose.
He's it's interesting because he has so much more grip, but then he does shit like that. I couldn't really size up. I was trying to figure out what the hell was, how could I expect this fight to go? And it would alternate really between looking in the mirror and seeing him just close up on me a whole like 2 seconds in one corner because he had infinite grip. But then the next corner, he would just be face down, ass up. It was a hard read to try and make, and we'll see how that progresses further on as we see here Piker and Squid fighting it out. Piker has the inside line. Squid, though, can get a faster exit out of this corner if he throws it and makes the apex, which he doesn't, instead deciding to, well, just, go off the track and almost...
and gotta have fun some way.
You'd know. We proceed with the race with 10 minutes gone. Gunsis is leading the race. Sharky is now within a second of Trampel, but Trampel lost quite a bit of ground to Gunsis. So Sharky is holding station to Gunsis, but that holding station is 5 seconds behind, so that's nowhere near an attack. As Moose trying another move around Mulder here. Into what would be turn 8, side by side, very close to wheels touching. Moose will have the outside line here. Oh, bit dodgy body here. Mulder does not want to give up any line. Moves to the inside, defending his position. Moose clipping the grass a little bit once again, but this time stays on the track, nowhere to go, as Mulder conveniently creates another line for himself outside the track. And that
totally did that by accident.
And that whole thing led the other two drivers, that would be me and Matt, to catch up. Moose very loose out of a corner. Okay,
Loose caboose Moose said it again.
That wasn't intentional, sorry about that. He's gonna be under fire into double left-hander as Mulder gets a couple of corners of breathing room.
At this point, I'm relying on my teammate to put pressure on him so that he can overtake 1, and 2, keep us in this position. I can't afford to have him fucking up now. I need Georgian more than ever, but he fucked up.
Because here goes Matt on Georgian. So that's what you didn't want to happen, but this is what is happening.
Thanks for making me feel better, Squid. You're a cunt.
I know.
Get a room. The overtake is not successful for now. Around
My
the
passport's
outside.
right over here. Hang on.
They would not let you out of the States anymore. And you know it. Moose is loose again. This man just goes through every corner sideways. I have no idea how he still keeps it on the track. Trying to force the overtake once again on Mulder as a little bit of a spoiler in the live timing. As Moose gets ahead side by side round the outside on the AstroTurf and a complete where did that come from?
As I said, he goes from being loose as hell to having infinite fucking grip. I don't know where that came from, but that was wild from my view, because I'm looking to my right, waiting for him to back off, waiting for him to back off, waiting for him to back off. I'm like, holy fuck, he's keeping this car on the track. I'm screwed. And then I was.
Basically, as of Rotrix 2 in the 9th place comes under fire from Biker and goes off the track in the process. Surely he'll have to give up the position. But he's slow off the corner, which will allow the other two drivers, that'll be Squid and Smartpipe, to catch up and challenge him for position. Squid is through Rotrix 2, is a little bit wide, tries to go back on the racing line to cut off at least Smartpipe, as Trample is scored in DNF.
What happened to him?
Something happened to Trample, I guess more technical difficulties, and the second race in a row, a driver in the top 3 is forced to retire.
Must be Hamilton's car he's driving.
Hamilton's 2016 car, that is.
Oh, just you wait.
The Valtteri Bottas is going to be like, I want to win the championship. You know how Germany and the Finland get along. And then, well, Mercedes will do what Mercedes do.
It's an angry, it's an angry Toto gif here.
We have to do what we have to do, and this is Tyson. As
Good.
shit happened, as Matt and Georgian both overtake me, could there have been some off-track action? We'll find out shortly.
And Smartpipe goes up the inside of Rotor and gets by. Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rotor was one of the big gainers in the first lap melee. He gained a lot of positions.
If you know what that's slang for, then that can help your situation.
Goes up the inside, of course. I'm not retarded.
No, the gain.
Not
Never
that.
mind. Yeah.
Just shut up.
Big gainers.
We proceed with the race's master trying to make his game. He actually closed the gap to Neon Tiger, all the 10 seconds, which are now 15, and already challenging Neon for 15th position. So Master is on the charge, trying to get as many points as possible out of this situation. I want to remind that he was dead last at one point. He's still not too far from there, but well, he's gaining. You okay there?
That means yes.
As Matt
Do you
turns
speak Maestro?
Yes.
Oh god, I'm sorry. I know how long it takes to learn a language, and the fact that you know that scares me and makes me really fear for your sanity. As cars are going, well, as cars do, around each other.
Wow.
I see a lock up there. Shut up.
fucking evolve. David Croft right here with a deep analysis.
Well, you see, they're going into the corner, which is a turn, which you have to turn for. Martin was turning everything you did back in Formula 1.
And this is Car PC, and it's Trempale and Servatis' teammate.
Wait, Servatis is not in the team.
No, exactly, I'm Croft.
We can't have two David Crofts. It doesn't work that way. On Sky there is one idiot and there is one smart guy.
Crofty,
And then
as you see, you're a dumbass, and I'm going to talk now. And I'm still a better commentator than you, even when I have food poisoning and am not there.
Sounds
It's
about
like,
right.
my shits sound better than your commentary.
Oh, I can
If you
beat
have a car-
Davide Valsecchi!
Oh god, don't. Speaking of don't, Psychedelics Creek.
Sakai Abel here!
We ruined this commentary.
Yeah, you did. Congratulations.
Go us.
While those two fucks were ruining things, Psychedelics went off track, rejoined behind Neon Tiger. That would be another position for Maestro, who is up to 14th now. Rotorix and Smart Pipe trading positions in the middle, fighting for 10th place. What else is going on? Nothing much really, except from this battle between Neon Tiger and Psychedelics. Psychedelics lost time going off in turn 10. So on pace, he should be faster than Neon. But Neon can defend. Well, he showed it on the last lap of Zandvoort defending against Sharkey when he did need to.
Yeah, for sure.
Passes
Maestro's catching G-Man as Smart Pie passes Rotor, so there are some battles going on off camera. So it's not totally dead. Neminus and Mars are rather close as...
That was the overtaker, as this is Rotor.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
there
why.
Who, again,
Grass.
wheel on the grass, locked up. Avoided the wall, I believe. Yeah, he just decided to go through the escape road. We see incidents that happened a bit earlier. This is Cervadis on AstroTurf, on actual turf, and into the
I hate
wall.
that corner. I hate that corner. So
Yeah.
easy to fuck one.
And this is him rejoining from the corner. The
Spin on
tires are
cold tires or hot
probably
tires?
hot.
Yep.
Yeah, and another wall into the collection.
Yep.
And here's Trempel before he died completely. This is what happened to him. Went a bit wide as Sharky breezes past. And
This is what happened to me.
As you fucking die.
Pretty much. I did a Ratzenberger.
Oh, good god.
No.
Let's fucking not.
That's not me. Let it be said for the record. That is not me. That is not my lid. Wait.
That
Here's
is...
something to tell us.
That would be Matt flipping his lid as Maestro catching up yet another car.
Wow.
This time...
2 out of 10, mate. 2 out of 10.
I mean,
It's a G-Man.
you should be surprised it's right now, not a few years before. G-Man is under fire from Maestro, who is about to get another position, unless he gets punted off the track again, which is, well, a certain possibility. Maestro is actually catching the leader, I think, 'cause I think he was like a minute down. I might be completely mistaken, which would be a common thing for me, but oh well. G-Man basically lets Maestro by without that much of a fight right now. He goes round the outside, but goes very, very wide, not even trying to squeeze Maestro. Probably willing to just stay behind him and gain some time that way. As he decides to go inside and defend all of a sudden. Okay, that was a change of heart.
Yeah, a little bit half-assed on both things and ended up just losing the position. Didn't quite decide to let him go, didn't quite decide to fight it either, and then just ended up, well, losing it by virtue of not making a commitment, as we see the battle now on between Georgian and Matt, not me, the other Matt. Close racing here, Matt not trying to make a move in the inside there. Gets a little bit on the grass and then, well,
Gets
off
a lot on
track
the grass.
Yeah. Which gives me the position back. Piker following through. Matt now down to 8th place. As this is another battle. Which one is this? This is the Sharky and Mr.
411.
Bob.
No, that's 411.
No.
That's Cervantes and Road 6 too.
You really are Croft.
I figured I'd keep the theme going as we see, creative, as we see Maestro lines coming into play from everyone, except for actually Maestro. He's kept it on the track mostly after he got hit up the ass. And then
By
spun
the
his
way,
ass.
Maestro is catching up to those two already. That would be for 11th position. So Maestro is slicing and dicing through the field.
Yeah,
Already,
well,
almost through half of them.
if I can rephrase what I was trying to say before, is that Rotor was one of the person that made it through the first lap, crashy, and gained a lot of positions out of that, and inevitably he was going to fall down the field a bit when the faster guys caught up.
Yeah, he was definitely out of his normal position. Not to say that it can't, we saw not only Matt, but also Psychedelic having a really good race last race. We saw pit stops coming into play there too. So anything can happen and usually does, as the proper commentator from F1 says. But in this case, yeah, Rotor was a little bit higher than his normal station due to some oops.
Whoops.
Due to some oops, as Squid highlights right here.
Taki in the way driving.
Oh Jesus, keep it on the road.
Issues. Problems.
Problems. As Psychedelics tries a wild move around the outside of Neon Tiger, that wasn't gonna work in any universe. Psychedelics goes onto the gravel and loses a bit more time. We switch to the battle, well, not so much a battle, but it might be between two backmarkers and Biker catching up from behind. Matt decides that the white line was somewhere beyond the wall, and he was fine going right to it.
I'm Jon Snow. I go behind the wall to fight the whites.
So you're fucking dead. Spoilers.
What is dead may never die. Wait, wrong house.
He's Carson.
Oh right, Martin and Nemitis. That is actually a battle for dead fucking last.
Well, they're not battling for last, but they're battling for second last.
Who knows? They might be battling for last, for all we know.
Who can fuck up the most? Who can fuck up the most?
Looks like it's Nemitis this time around.
I gotta say, Nemitis isn't usually that far down. He was in midfield in Soundboard, wasn't he?
He's usually glued to his pal Echo, but this time Echo is not performing too well either. Just 8 seconds. What?
Oh.
What just happened?
Gentle touch?
They didn't touch. Just.
No?
I think Nemitis just stopped. Nemitis just went off. Martin just stopped staring at him. Then he rejoined, and Nemitis stopped to let the leader through. Who is already catching up and lapping both.
What?
That's a creative way to let the leader through. And Sharky.
What?
You don't have to stop on the track, because now Nemitis got caught up and passed you. Okay.
It looked like Nemitis' car jumped a little bit. That's why I thought originally he got hit. Maybe not. That was a weird sequence. Do they know how blue flags work at all?
I don't know.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Well, we know the answer with one of them, but the other one, I would assume, knows how they work. You don't have to stop. But
Nemitis just looked to have made a mistake into the chicane and broke too late, I think. And then when he was off, he just...
Wheel locking. Martin just does a full show as he passes Nemitis, who just wants to have nothing with it.
Girls just wanna have fun.
I think when Nemitis realized he was off the track, he just waited to go back onto the track until the leaders had passed, so he didn't have to slow down for them immediately afterwards.
Smart, if that's true. As one point of note is that I'm 8/10. Let me try that again. Thank you. I'm 8/10 faster than my teammate. There we go. So battle on for 5th and 6th as we go down a little bit further through the field, as we see
Biker, who was behind two backmarkers, now he's all the way down in 9th, so something happened to the American. As
well, he saw he was getting closer to us
last.
and decided, fuck this shit.
As Nemitis gets his position back, as Martin probably inevitably hit the wall at some point.
Probably.
Speaking of inevitable, Sharkey is closing the gap to Guns, is now under 3... Actually, make it under no seconds. It was 3 seconds, but now it's just 7/10, so Guns has probably made a mistake at some point. And this battle is on. Yeah, look at Guns' time, 1:44.5, and Sharkey was 2 seconds faster this lap, so judging by where they were, probably in the last sector, Guns has made a mistake, so this is gonna be yet another chapter in Guns versus Sharkey battle. Anyone?
Yep.
Yeah.
And if history is anything to go by, then Sharky will win it. He has
it's inevitable
in the season.
He's gonna pass him and then form a 20,000 second gap as we see a car on the wall. Is that one of the Pink Panthers?
No, that's an
that's
Audi. Yeah, Psychedelics and Rotor, and that would be Neon Tiger.
Neon.
That's Smart
No,
Pipe.
Smart
Smart
Pipe,
Pipe.
yeah.
Losing a lot of
Whoa,
positions.
whoa, smart, no,
No.
It's like a typical Irishman coming out of a bar.
This is what happened to Audi. There's someone else off the track in front of him.
Yeah, the other
That's-
car is rotor. This is psychedelics.
That's Psychedelics hitting the wall. This is Rotor in front of him on the grass. Ooh, he's not gonna hit the wall. Nope, he hit the wall. Continued, and that smart pipe way too hard here on the AstroTurf and spun. Actually, yeah, he can pretend he planned it all along as he does a full donut. And this is Watson,
Cut the
Who-
corner too hard.
fucking dies. Yep.
Boink.
He did what rotor did, but hit the wall more hard. More hard? I'm good at English. Shut up, me.
This is a common characteristic among the broadcasters in Backmarker's Bunch.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, our commentary should be me in Southern, Ilya in Russian, and you in Swedish. And just, it'll be even more coherent because then at least we're not trying to answer each other. And so we'll all be speaking for ourselves, which is slightly more coherent, and trying to speak for one another.
We should just record it separately, like solo commentary, and then overlay it over each other so we don't even listen to each other.
Just splice out, yeah.
Kan jag lämna hemliga meddelanden till Älg?
I don't know what you're saying right there, bud, but that ain't English. I mean, if I'm gonna go full Southern, then I am, but I don't like it when you don't speak that English over here.
Продолжая трансляцию с двумя идиотами.
Нет! Подожди! Бабушка!
Пиздец!
Иди
Oh,
нахуй!
speaking of, Squirrel's almost checked. If I start swearing in Russian, you both gonna regret it. Either way.
Whoops.
Maestro is all the way up to 11th and catching up Cervatis and Squid already. Here we go.
I was not having the best time in this race. I was using the same setup I used for Virginia, and
Oh god, F.
it
Why?
did not work that well.
No, Virginia is a bunch of sweeping corners, and this is a bunch of
Chicanes.
Yeah, this should be a bunch of sweeping corners, but again, because FIA got a vagina, it's no longer.
Meanwhile, Piker and Matt battling for 7th position. Piker easy overtake. Matt did not get much resistance. And wait, did they switch positions? Squid and Cervatis, but they like
No.
I don't know.
We were like
No,
that.
it's been like this.
Okay, I'm losing the plot. That's okay.
We've all lost the plot already. This commentary's gone to shit, as they usually do. Speaking of going to shit, Shark is now down to 1.5 seconds, 1.4, 1.5, somewhere in between those two.
Oh, speaking of going
Vince's.
to shit, Cervatis is a little bit wide. Maestro is on his tail now in the draft, so that might be an overtake coming up. Maestro will have to dive. No, he doesn't. He just stays behind. He's being insane for a moment as he, starts with his creative interpretation of the track limit again.
I gotta say, Maestro,
And
in the last couple, yeah, there we go. He's in these F3 races, he seems to be a little bit smarter when it comes to overtaking.
Oh.
He's not always as Cervatis gets a little bit spicy there.
Yeah, a little bit of on the late side with that defense to the inside, but he had his one move. Used it and kept Maestro behind for now. That all helps Squid to get away for a little bit. Maestro is looking for the inside line. He'll have to brake very late. He doesn't do that and hold station for now, but him trying an overtake denied him a chance in here. He probably would have been better off staying behind Cervatis to get a little bit of draft with a better exit. He would have gotten him into turn 1. We'll see how draft helps him here on the long straight into the first proper turn of the circuit. He is right on the tail, jumps out of a draft to the inside. He's gonna have to brake late. He does, but he's not fast enough. But Cervatis has to compromise his line defending his position, so Maestro will have some extra speed. This time he's gonna try to go around the outside. And still no success. Oh, Cervatis lost it. Actually kept it on the track, but lost the position. Nice save by Cervatis.
Yeah.
But Maestro gains yet another position.
Maestro's definitely on the charge, and now he's just got to wait for Squid to spin again, and that'll be another position made up. Interestingly, the gap between myself and Georgian is now out to 6 seconds approximately, so I must have fucked up somewhere along the line. as we see Sharkey now a half a second behind Goonsis. He closed that right up, and followed by Mr. Bob 20 seconds behind him. Oh, Jesus. Those two are just going to town while everyone else is just, we're here, we think, maybe F.
Yeah, another chapter of the battle continues. Guns is in the lead. Sharky catching up again.
Were those two cars off track in the background, or was I seeing things?
Oh,
I didn't see
both
anything.
are good possibilities at this point.
Yeah, probably. Blame the beer. We already have, 4 cars a lap down. Marzen in last place with Midas ahead of him, Echo, and Viperion. Psychedelic is the first car on the lead lap, or last car on the lead lap. The first car on the lead lap would be the leader, shock horror. Let's see. Any interesting fights going on now? Looks like you and I, Georgian, are the closest up
We're
at the
6
top. with
seconds
Piker behind
apart
us.
while these 3.
Up at the top, asshole. I don't care about the leaders because this is always what happens. Sharky always
Squidmaster and
catches up.
Savadis are within a second.
At the top! They're behind us, you dumb shit!
How are we at the top in 5th and 6th?
Because Goonsis and Sharky don't count. They're always going to be at the very top, so I just start the top where they aren't.
I mean, Biker is closer to you than I am.
I like that.
Up.
Well, that's a restraining order from Biker flying towards Matt.
The nice
As
thing,
we
though, is
enter.
when he comes to deliver the restraining order, I'll watch him flying off the road, so I can just get out of there in time.
The last 9 minutes. Bye.
We're almost
Thank you.
there.
Thank you. Master got up to Squid looking for another overtake. And he's
Off the
side
track.
by side already and, well, completed the overtake. Well, that was anticlimactic.
I slid again. Shocker.
That's what
And
happens
then I
when
did
Squid gets
that.
wet. When Squid gets wet, everything goes sideways.
Yeah. I just confirm.
That was a sad yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my life is ruined.
I did feel like that during this race. It doesn't look that bad here, but it felt awful.
Oh, don't worry, it's gonna become horrible as Cervantes is trying to make a move. He's
Piker and I
got.
said identical times. Sorry.
Congratulations.
Well, I didn't know you were going to talk about something relevant. I was trying to steer us back on topic.
Side by side, Cervantes on the inside. Squid doesn't fight it very much, and Cervantes is through, trying to keep up with Maestro. It's gonna be a difficult task. Next target for Maestro would be Matt in 8th position. 4 seconds between those two. Just under 8 minutes left in this race. As Squid, I think I've seen that before.
Yes, I did the exact same thing before.
I think half the field have made that same mistake. It's a weird mistake to make because you understeer and you think with the track grip. As we
Oh.
have another car around, is that smart pipe again?
I think so, yeah.
One of the Apex cars, as we see what happened to Squid. Yeah, you go there, you have no control. I've done that many a time in practice and a couple of times in qualifying. And this is the other car. We're gonna assume that's Smart Pipe doing exactly the same thing with exactly.
No, not quite. He doesn't even get to the part where you are guaranteed to spin. You can still hold it there on the apron. As we see what happened to me. It's a huge run on Georgian in a corner where, well, you shouldn't have a huge run on somebody, and so I took to the gravel to not pound my teammate from behind like he did to me in Le Mans.
I pounded you from the side. It wasn't from behind. Oh, hello. Race control shows up, and Matt gets a 5-second time penalty. Well, that's a first.
F.
Pretty much everyone and their mother abused the track limits in turn 10 and turn 12. I guess Matt was just doing it consistently without even, taking a break every lap or two.
So that means
Yeah, it's-
that...
That gives Maestro another position.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I think
maybe
that the
Cervantes.
view that was taken by race control is that basically if you're following somebody and you're fighting and you're following somebody off the track, at that point, it's thing. But then why the lead car of that following pack didn't, I don't understand. But it is what it is. Matt gets a penalty, basically gifting Maestro P8.
Yeah, maybe give them Servatis P9 as well. That's gonna be close. There is about a 5-second gap between those now. Maestro is still faster than Matt, so he might claim that position before the race ends. Regarding others, the battle for the lead continues. Shark is still within a second, waiting for a mistake from Gunsis. Well, Gunsis usually doesn't last that long, giggity. So there might be a chance that Sharky won't get his chance at the end of a race.
Somehow I doubt that, but you seem to have expert knowledge in how long Goonsis lasts, so I'll take your word for it. No real chance of any kind of battle outside the top two coming up to try to get the win. Mr. Bob is 27 seconds behind, practically, with the Holy Moose a whole 40 seconds behind, then you 50, and then me 53 with Piker 55. So, where are the battles? Where are the fights? Besides the leaders, who I'm ignoring for the sake of just trying to forget they exist because they make me jelly. About a second gap between Piker and Matt, and, well, me for that matter. A couple seconds back to Maestro. You know, the whole mid-pack down to Squid, between Squid and me, is pretty close to one another, so anything can happen in there. With 5 minutes left to go in the race. A little bit further down the field, Rotor and Neon are pretty close to one another. And then the lap cars, oh god, Echo was like, what, 12 seconds down on that lap? Yikes.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty. Basically, Kunz and Shark are in another dimension, with Mr. Bob in the middle of nowhere. Gotta say, Moose found incredible amount of pace in Imola, up and forth with no real challenge from behind. Oh good god. And unless something happens, he's gonna finish this race in 4th position, and he had that spectacular overtake round the outside.
I gotta say, with the battle for the lead here with Gunsis and Sharky has been in this situation before, and he's gotten past, but now he only has 4 minutes due to being so far back after lap 1. So it's gonna be difficult now, because he doesn't have a lot of time, and he's still not really close enough to attack.
Yeah, either he waits for a mistake, or he really can't close that final gap up, those final half a second, 0.8 of a second. Gunsis is definitely driving the hell out of this car. I guess what we have, 3, maybe 4 laps left in the race. Gunsis has to survive for not too many laps. And Sharky has to apply more pressure to force the mistake, because now there is almost a second of a gap. It's comfortable enough for Gunsis to keep his faculties and not overdrive the car.
Yeah, although one mistake, and this isn't a safe gap for him by any means. You know, 3 second, 4 second gap, something like that. You can have a little bit of a moment and still recover and keep your position. 0.8 of a second, he shoots off this corner a little bit wrong, gets a little bit sideways, doesn't cut the track. Decides to actually race on the track, and Sharky's right there for the fight. So we'll have to see how that develops. Meanwhile, I've caught back up to within call that 2.5 seconds of you. So that fight is intensifying. I'm bringing Piker along with me for the ride. Behind him, Matt is another 2-3 seconds down. Other close battle, not really anything else on the track.
Here, they made us an Echo for 18.
2 Baguette drivers, too, and behind them you can see 2 backmarkers cars and Piker. So those 2 battles are gonna come together at some point, a lap apart. That's gonna be interesting, because Echo would not want to let people through, as he has a battle of his own. That might get dicey towards the end. We have just 2 minutes. We'll see if the faster pack will have enough time to catch up. You can see him right there at the top of the screen.
Oh, look at the gap between Gunsis and Sharky. 1/10 of a second now.
Sharky found out where the gas pedal was, I guess.
Sharky definitely turned up the pace. It was probably towards turn 1 with all the draft. Still no overtake completed. Echo gets past Nemidis. I wonder if he saw the pack behind and decided to just go away now. And Nemidis will have to deal deal with them first. And back to the battle for the lead we go. Sharky and Gunsis still battling. 1.5 minutes left, plus 1 lap. This is gonna go right till the end. Gunsis still ignores completely the track limits. Sharky's
getting a penalty for that.
yeah, surprisingly. Coming towards turn 12 for yet another time. Very aggressive on the curb and using all of the track and then some by both drivers. They're gonna come up on one of the lap cars. There's gonna be Neon Tiger in 15th position, and hope he's gonna give some space to them immediately. Nobody can slow down now. This is a battle to the very end between those two.
So we switch now to the 2 backmarkers cars. Have caught up to the 2 Pink Panthers. One of us dragging Piker along for the ride. Not able to really break the draft, and so he's just able to just slide right on in.
Meanwhile, Maestro lost a couple positions. He's back to 11th and has a considerable gap to Svitis. I guess something else happened to the Russian.
Yeah, failure to launch.
That never happens to us. As the time is about to expire, but the leaders already started another lap, so we have 2 laps to go from here. That's gonna be interesting, and here are Eau de Baguette cars trying to give way to everyone behind them. There's gonna be whole 3 cars.
Why do you say that's going to be interesting, I wonder?
Yeah, I don't know why. Midas lets the cars through. The start-finish straight is very convenient for him right now because he can get out of the way and let the faster cars just drive by, which is exactly what Mulder is trying to do. Piker will have to hurry up to get past Midas before the turns as well, otherwise he might get stuck for a bit. And we saw back there, Matt is not too far behind either. Back to the fight for the lead. Gunsis and Sharky still glued together. Sharky is very, very close. One wrong move, one brave lunge, and everything can happen here. Coming towards the last couple of turns for the penultimate time. Gunsis is a bit wide. Gunsis is a bit wide. Sharky goes side by side. Sharky tries to pull ahead. Sharky is ahead. Gunsis was on the grass. Gunsis lost time, and Sharky gets the lead. Coming towards the white flag. This is what he was waiting for. This is what he got.
Gunsis,
1 lap
no!
to go. 1 lap to go. Gunsis tries to get right back, side by side. This is the battle for the lead at the last lap.
Nope.
Very close to wheel touch, and Gunsis will have a couple of opportunities still. This is a decently long lap. Rotrix 2 just gets the fuck out of the way, probably for the best of everyone involved. Whoa, that's Mulder missing turn 12 completely. He'll have to give up the position. As he does, and the racing continues, they will be coming towards the white flag this time by. Piker is right behind, watching, waiting. Matt is not close enough really to have an effect on this battle. Mulder goes very, very wide onto the gravel, and Piker goes through, and Mulder goes into the pits on the final lap. Lack of fuel.
Yep. I didn't anticipate Gunsis making that lap. So, I needed to put a liter of fuel in my car. I figured at that point it would cost me less than running the risk and running out of fuel on the last lap. Because, well, that would just completely ruin your day, wouldn't it?
Well, as Mulder ruined his chances, back to the leaders. Final lap. 2 corners to go. Sharky leading. Gunsis is right there. We saw that just the other way around. Just 1 lap ago. Sharky makes a mistake. Sharky's in the gravel. And Gunsis goes through. Sharky just lost the race there. Sharky lost the race in the penultimate corner.
Gunsis did it!
Sharky can make mistakes. Gunsis crosses the finish line.
Fuck
in
that!
first
Sharky
place.
lost the race! Sharky lost the race!
Sharky lost the race, and we go right back to the battle that would be for 5th position between myself and Piker. Still not decided here. Half a lap to go. Surprisingly, these two decide to stay on track, unlike the leaders.
I know, what is the sorcery of track limits?
Ooh, Piker looking for the inside. There's not a lot of space there. Well, not a lot of track limits there. battle till the very end. 2 corners to go for these two as well. Oh, that was a little bit of touch up the rear. Coming to the last couple of corners. Braking sector. Ooh, lock up! And doing exactly what Sharky did.
Pretty much. Bye.
Biker gets P5 at the very end as well. And here is Squid.
Yes. Hi.
Good, please.
Stopped on the track. Servatis is trying to squeeze out yet another position from Matt, but he doesn't know that Matt has a penalty. Doesn't matter, but they're still gonna go to the line. Servatis in the draft, looking around the outside, finishes behind, but it doesn't matter, because with the penalty Matt will drop a position back there. We have Mulder after the pit defending against Smart Pipe till the very end. Smart Pipe just cuts the track where you can't really cut the track to gain those tens, hundreds and thousands of a second, but that's not enough to beat Mulder. Oh, that might be enough. And that Squid stopped on the track.
I may have miscalculated my fuel a little bit.
Well, that's Squid stuck on the track.
Luckily, though, that's a downhill.
So basically, what's happening now is Squid pushing the clutch in and gently rolling down the hill towards the finish line.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, when he first stopped on track, it was when me and fucking Smart Pipe were coming through. We shat ourselves.
Here we go to your scheduled broadcast.
It's like a Toyota LMP car.
It sounds more like Formula E.
Except that doesn't get to finish.
Oh shit! Well, if this isn't downhill, you're not gonna get to finish either.
It's uphill. As we see, I guess we're gonna see the moment when you ran out of fuel. Coming through the chicane.
You can also hear how much I was trying to lift and coast.
Running out of fuel and actually gets clobbered from behind. I guess the driver behind did not anticipate him running out of fuel. And yeah, there he goes in the middle of a track with no fuel clutch in. And there we go. And then we see Mulder and Smart Pipe just flying around him with no regards to human life.
Are you actually gonna show me finish?
Squid is still trying to make it to the finish line. Still just rolling to it. It's quite a ways back. He's almost stopped, and we see cars behind him that finished the race and are on the cooldown lap. Well, they're getting behind him, so I assume a little bit of a little bit of push and shove to get him to the finish line. Biker has a better idea and just shoves me out of the way, and there is another car that's gonna be number 36, I believe. That's Matt pushing Squid all the way to the finish line. Well, that's camaraderie here. And Squid actually finishes the race having no fuel in the tank. As another race is completed and Gunsis is a victor and some donuts are in order. Anyone?
No.
I thought we were supposed to just sit and enjoy the donuts. I mean,
It is nice. It is refreshing to not see Sharky win this season.
It
It's
is.
the first time.
Also, I like the difference that every time Sharky wins a race, he just calmly drives down to the pit road, just gets in his pit box, and just quits the simulation. And then we see Gunsis winning, doing wild donuts in the middle of a track. Guns has completed 25 laps from Sharky. Mr. Bob is in third, half a minute back of these two. Polymus secures great result in fourth. Biker grabs fifth position from me. Servatis in seventh. Maestro up to eighth at the end of the race. Matt with his 5-second penalty applied goes down to ninth position. And Agent Boulder rounds out the top 10 for the race.
Too
Nice
much
timing.
time.
Smart Pipe in P11 finally one of these days will learn how to do transitions. G-Man in 12th place, followed by Spooky Fuel in 13th. Neon Tiger behind him in 14th. Being a lap down, managed to still finish behind a guy who took forever to finish the race. Murder X2 in P15 with Psychedelic in 16th, Viperion, Echo 51, Nemesis, and Marzen 224. First car 2 laps down. in P20.
Echo Squid is timed 3 minutes 20 seconds down.
I was lucky enough to not be lapped, because that meant that I was able to finish ahead of all the cars that got lapped, and I still got 13th. And did not finish Champion lap 7. F.
All the F, and that affects the Drivers' Championship in the way that Sharky has 290 points out of 300 possible. He lost 10 points. Yay! Gunston goes all the way to the second place with already dropped week applied, so he's safely in second position. Mr. Bob and Maestro in third and fourth, just 2 points apart. Piker safely in fifth. Trampel is sixth. Matt 7th. 4 points behind is Agent Mulder. Further 3 points behind is Smart Pipe. And I'm on 10th position with a drop week applied, so not too far behind from 8th and 9th.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. The battle is pretty close there towards the tail end of the top 10. Servatis in 11th, 1 point ahead of Holy Moose. Then there comes Nemetis in Echo 51, Psychedelics in 15, with Neon Tiger in 16. Jeke in P17 with Source behind him, 2 points adrift. G-Man 97,000 even, I can count, and 2. It's shut up. With Hyperion in P20. Actually, it's not even 90,000. It's 197,000.
No, I was gonna let you have that.
No, that looked like an M. I've been drinking.
In 21st, Car PC 200 ahead of Marson 224, who is tied with me after 2 races. Spooky Squid in 23rd.
Oh,
24th is Rotor X2 ahead of my teammate Potato Head Run. 26th, Alex Nessie. 27th, Powers 240. What? 2440. 28th is Codas. And in last place, in Corsa with 16 points.
Oh, so did you just say, Matt, that 1 looked like an M?
No,
How the fuck? How the fuck do you confuse these two?
The N and the 1 together, you cunt. As
Right.
we see the team championship, J&J Motorsport Shock of the Century still up top with 462 points. Suck my dick. Gauchi Goose is in P2 with Bentley Mattersport behind. Audi Motorsport is in 4th place, followed by Backmarkers Racing, 13 points adrift. Apex Predator in 6th, Air de Baguette in 7th. Raspberries Racing is taking to the skies in 8th place with MRT behind in 9th. Well, I mean JK. And Blue Flag in 10th place.
I made a joke last time. Come on. Team Rainbow Moose is in 11th position, 11 points behind him. Calamari Chips. Wow, you're losing to 1 guy. Good job. Colors Racing is in 13th, Independent Republic of No Show is in 14th, and Team Shrug is in 15th position.
It's sad,
And-
this is true.
And with that said, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
We're a rolling disaster.
Phew!